You think success is a team sport? You think you need applause, cheerleaders, constant validation? Here's a truth you may not want to hear. Most people don't want you to fail, but they also don't want you to rise so high that you outgrow them. The moments that change everything don't happen in the spotlight, they happen when the room is empty, when the only eyes on you are your own, when it's silent and the work is all that's left. Greatness begins alone. I know exactly where you are. You wake up feeling the weight of 1,000 unfinished dreams. You scroll through your phone and see others doing more, having more, being more, and it feels like they're running while you're still tying your shoes. You tell yourself, I'll start when I have more time, more money, more clarity. But you already know those things won't arrive before you begin. Maybe you started before. Maybe you joined the gym, wrote the first chapter, recorded the first video. At first you felt unstoppable, until the novelty wore off, until no one noticed, until progress slowed. And when the claps didn't come, you stopped. The truth is, you've been waiting for permission from friends, family, or the world to believe in yourself. But permission is never given freely. The world isn't in the business of handing out belief. Here's something to accept right now. The longer you wait for someone else to validate your effort, the longer you'll stand still. A year from now, you could either be proud of the progress you made in private, or still making excuses in public. It's your choice. Nobody is coming to push you over the finish line. Nobody's going to call you at 5 a.m. and tell you to get up and chase your dream. Nobody's going to build your vision for you. Even if you have support, even if you have a network, no one will ever be as invested in your future as you. That's why self-responsibility is the foundation of all success. If you don't back yourself, you'll collapse the first time the world tells you no. And it will tell you no. It will ignore you. It will test you. It will try to bury you under doubt. This is where most people give up when the applause fades and the grind sets in. They tell themselves, it must not be meant for me. But here's the truth. If you're waiting for the perfect moment, it will never come. If you're waiting to feel ready, you never will. Meanwhile, someone with less talent, less time, and fewer resources will pass you simply because they acted while you were still thinking about it. So let me ask you, when does your one day become day one? The champions you admire were not made in moments of inspiration. They were forged in repetition. It's the 5 a.m. wake-ups when no one's there to congratulate you. The late nights studying, creating, building, without a single like or comment. The weekends where you choose to grind while your friends choose comfort. The truth is, talent starts the race, but discipline finishes it. People often wait to feel motivated before they act. The great ones act first, and motivation follows. If you only work when you're inspired, you'll never build momentum. If you only train when you feel good, you'll never break limits. Think about it. One focused hour every day for a year is 365 hours, the equivalent of more than 9 full work weeks dedicated solely to your goal. 9 weeks. Could you change your life in that time? Absolutely. But here's the part that separates the top 1% from everyone else. They don't just show up when it's easy. They show up when it's boring, when it's hard, when it feels pointless, because they know the breakthrough often comes one step after most people quit. And when the moment comes, when the world finally notices, it's too late for everyone else, because the gap is already uncatchable. Success is not gentle. It will strip away your comfort, your excuses, your illusions. Growth happens in the moments you want to quit but choose not to. It happens when you are out of breath, out of energy, out of patience, but you push through anyway. Champions are not the most gifted. They are the most persistent. They keep going when logic says stop. You will never feel ready to reach for more. The fear will always be there. That's why most people stay where they are. Readiness is a myth. If you wait for it, you'll still be waiting 5 years from now. You need to get comfortable with discomfort. Because discomfort is not the enemy, it's the signal you're growing. Every time you take a step into the unknown, you expand your capacity. Every time you stay where it's safe, you shrink it. It's not talent versus talent out here. It's courage versus comfort. It's discipline versus distraction. And the uncomfortable truth? Most people will choose comfort every time, which is why the top is never crowded. Picture a skyscraper under construction. For months, all you see is the groundwork. Digging, reinforcing, laying steel underground. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. But the builders know the truth. Every extra inch of foundation will allow the building to rise higher without collapsing. Rush that part, and the entire structure is doomed. Your journey works the same way. The hours you spend learning, practicing, refining, that's your foundation. The better it is, the higher you can go without crumbling under pressure. Now think about climbing a mountain. At the base, it's crowded. People are excited, taking selfies, talking about how great the view will be. But as the climb gets harder, the path narrows. The air gets thinner. One by one, people turn back, not because they can't keep going, but because they decide it's not worth it. By the time you reach the summit, you'll see only a handful of people. Not because the rest couldn't make it, but because they wouldn't. That's why the view is rare. That's why the victory is sweet. When you work in the shadows, when you build your foundation in silence, the payoff is not just reaching the top, it's knowing you belong there. Here's your decision point. You can keep waiting for the perfect moment which doesn't exist, or you can start with what you have right now. Stop needing permission. Stop needing a round of applause to begin. Start proving yourself to yourself. You don't need to be ready. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to take the first step today. Not one day. Not when things calm down. Day one begins the moment you say it does. The road will not be smooth. You will face days where everything goes wrong, your plans fall apart, your energy collapses, and doubt fills your mind. That's the moment most people quit. That's why so few ever see what they're capable of. Resilience is built here in the quiet battle between giving up and pushing forward. You will fail. You will face rejection. You will question whether the sacrifices are worth it. But each failure teaches you something no win ever could. Each setback builds the armor you'll need for the bigger battles ahead. Mental toughness isn't about feeling strong all the time. It's about acting strong when you don't. When the temptation to quit whispers in your ear, take one more step. When your energy is gone, do one more rep, make one more call, write one more page. These moments stack up. They become your advantage. Because while others rest, you rise. One day, you will look back on this chapter of your life. You'll remember the nights you worked when you could have slept. The mornings you rose when no one would have noticed if you stayed in bed. You'll see that those were the turning points. The days you stopped waiting for the world to give you a green light and gave it to yourself. At the summit, you'll notice something: it's not crowded. Not because people weren't capable of the climb, but because they weren't willing. You will never regret doing the work alone, but you will regret waiting for someone to do it with you. So keep going, even when it's lonely, especially when it's lonely, because that's when you're building the strength no one can take away. This is your journey. Own it.